okay. That's kind of funny, honestly. They're around here somewhere. Oh, no. Oh, never mind. Come on. Are you gonna come out? Don't worry, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'm waiting for you to make your wonderful move. Oh my god! Yo! I am literally graduated in meme school. I'm gonna put that on my fucking wall. There we go. I think it's safe to say that I won this match. Unless this guy's really persistent. Look at that damage! 10 11. I've actually been really lucky with this so far. It's fine. Yeah, he's calling it quits. He's calling it quits now. Just look at him. Well, it's this last ditch effort. Oh my god. Alright, good game. I really fucking hate this game's filter. How is mother a swear? Does how you hate mothers around the world now? What the fuck is this game? I remember watching this series and it's like, there's just something about it just doesn't really make sense. I guess it's just my nostalgia talking, but the decisions they make with the show, it just looks out of place. Like, look how fucking clean the backgrounds are. Like, the BBC didn't, like, have to freaking plan the budget and be like, you know what, we're saving the budget for, like, other series. By the way, they had John Boyega, the guy from freaking Star Wars, to be in this freaking series. Couldn't fucking save it. And also, not enough blood, and they keep missing their freaking punches. Why even make it CG anyway? Like, what the fuck? Nothing beats the classics, my dude. They're like really good intense scenes in the original version. But this one, like, again, pales in comparison to that. I remember watching it and it's just that uncomfortable viewing where it's like, oh, that doesn't seem fair. Also, the Seagull Kia doesn't say piss off in this version. Seagull said that. I want you to hear this.
Help you.
Piss off! That was in a Universal movie! That was in a freaking kids movie! You can take that out of context.
You.
Piss off! That was so good. Oh, look at how lying you are. That's so adorable.
Like this?
It's actually pretty funny. It's like you're dead. I could just nick your carcass. Yeah, we're chilling out, man. Yo, I'm totally fucking high. I did some research the other day. NASA's discovered a planet out there that makes you feel immortal, pretty much. You can live on that planet until you're like the age of 25,000. But it's really far away. So you have to travel like 1 trillion light years just to get to that planet, just so you can live until you're like 20,000 years old. If you're a kid and you go all the way over there, you're literally an IRL lolly that is immortal. Like, god damn. You want to feel like a vampire? Go there. So it reminds me of this one time, someone on my Twitter timeline says, McDonald's messed up my order of burgers and fries. Ugh, I can't believe that. And then I replied to him saying, to be honest, McDonald's food is pretty shit in general. And then the other guy who responded to me literally says, fuck you. It's like, I did never believe what his name was. His name was McDonald's employee. It's like, oh my god, that made my day. It feels good to piss someone off on Twitter sometimes. Whose breasts are bigger, mine or yours? Alright, what to do here? There are plenty of options. I literally have no idea where to start. Okay, first off, I'll give him this. And then I'll do that. And then I'll boost him again. And there you go, we're done. Actually, I should have used the red card so that way I could actually kill parts of the formation, but it's like, what? Whatever, man. And I'm one step closer to winning the game. So you know what? It's to win.
Okay, so the opening ceremony. Oh, jeez.
Which is why we choose not to have democracy. I got a chest! Hey! Mabel, I got a chest! Right on my face! I'm sorry. I had to do it. I love Brenda. Yeah, show me how strong you are, Noel. I want to see your body at work. Oh my god! Yo! I am literally graduated in meme school. I'm gonna put that on my fucking wall. What the fuck is that? No, seriously, what the fuck is that? What is this bullshit? What are you feeding me, dude? Oh man, that is fucking terrifying. I hate you so much, Offspring. I'm telling you right now. Have you experienced the old itchy feet still itching?
I just hope I don't die by trying to take the shortcut.
I mean, if you do, that'd be really funny.
Uh-oh, I'm dying. Shit.
Are you serious?
I can heal through it.
Go on.
The one appearance that I recognize the Queen being at is an animated film, funny enough. It must be the Queen's corgis, right? No. Not that one. I'm talking about an unrenowned classic. It's called the BFG. Well, as you see, it stars a child named Sophie, who has been abducted by a giant. Taken to a faraway land where trolls eat children. So they want to get rid of these trolls. So who does Sophie think of in this time of crisis? That's right. Queen Elizabeth II herself. So the BFG takes her to one of the many windows that the Queen has lied rest in, pumps drugs-induced dreams into her mind, and dumps Sophie off to be an orphan at her windowsill. Until the next morning, the Queen wakes up, and then she sees Sophie right there in the window. Oh my, I dreamed about you. And so she puts together an army to get rid of the giants, and then literally dump them into a giant prison. And that's where her story ends. Happy days for everybody.
Okay, summon someone. Come on. I want to use Twisted Fate. I want to sweep. I want to do a supermarket sweep. Give me that chance. Come on. Oh, thank you. No, wait. Unless he fucking has deny. You better not have deny, bro. You better not have deny. Oh, thank God. Yes. Give me that sweep. Love you, man. Oh my God! Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? What? Are you fucking... What? Oh, fuck off, man! What the fuck? Are you fucking serious? Oh my God! What the fuck? Oh my God! Hey, yo, Patrick, look at me. I'm jumping. I'm jumping too. Yo, Scooby-Doo-Poo. Fuck! There we are. I'll take care of this thing. Yeah, you can't get me. Fuck! Are you gonna use vengeance? Might as well. Called it! I'm on to you, son! I got your phone number and I know where you live! Sometimes it likes to cop block you and then sometimes it just gives you a little bit of a cum in your face. Nothing wrong with rat food. I eat rat food every single day. There we are. We're at least at odds one of... Oh! Oh! Double fucking clutch! Double clutch, ladies and gentlemen! Let's go! And look, I got plenty of dogs. You got a dog. And you got this room over here. There we go. I think it's safe to say that I won this match. Unless this guy's really persistent. Look at that damage! 10, 11. I've actually been really lucky with this so far. It's fine. Yeah, he's calling it quits. He's calling it quits now. Just look at him. Well, it's this last ditch effort. Oh my God. Alright, good game. I have overcome to the point where I can't come anymore.
Oh shit! That pig one thinks he got it coming. Alright, I'll grab it. I'll take care of it.
Good. That's a good idea.
Alright, good. That was easy said than done, you know? This is how you use a Rainmaker.
Go. I got your back.
Alright, go. Ah! Oh, whoa! Good job, guys. Can I make it? Can I make it? Yeah, let's go!
We got to our first player.
Oh, good. Oh, good. I got free! I got free! Got free! Yes, I got free, people! Yes! Play foul! Alright. Can we get it?
Go, go, go.
I'm going. Look at me go! That's how you do it! That's how you do it! Alright, get the thing! What? Sorry, I got it. Oh my God! I managed! Wow! Just in the nick of time! What? Yo, that was the clutch!
Let's see if this works. If I'm lucky. Of course I'm not. Fuck this. I really fucking hate this game's filter. How is Mother I swear. Does Mahoyo hate mothers around the world now? What the fuck is this game?
Holy shit, you got the Morat buff. That is effing brilliant.
Really?
Yeah, if you get it at the start of a run, then you're more than likely to cap out when you kill 50 Morat. That'll be excellent for the last boss.
Wait, what was I supposed to do? Oh, yeah. Oh, God! Ah, oh, for fuck's sake! Hello, guys. It's me, your old boy Zang once again, even though I'm not old. I'm like in my 30s right now, but technically I'm around young or maybe old enough to be in my 30s. Well, people say I'm more of a youngster, but I beg to differ at that point. I'll just take that as a compliment at that point. But hey, how are you guys doing? Me back in the flesh, smartly dressed, because it's a little bit chilly out there right now, even though my radiator heating is like up to like 50 degrees or something. Still feels a bit chilly, but I thought I might as well just get my energy and my body, my warm water energy by doing some streaming, because I get to 100% Knack. But yeah, I decided to do Knack because why not? I thought it might be an easy game to 100% complete. Far from it. But we'll get to that game in a hot minute, hopefully after that, because I want to let you know what I've been doing for the past, when's the last time I streamed, actually? Because it's been so freaking long, actually. I'm trying to remember the last time I did a fucking stream on Risk of Rain 2 it was, and that was a ball like that was. That was in June last year. My god, that was the last time I fucking live streamed? I don't know, it's just that I've been burnt out by Twitch because most of the live stream looks exactly the fucking same to me, and most of the news I get about Twitch streamers I mostly get from YouTube videos of people who read fucking tweets off Twitter. And I don't even use Twitter that much because it's just recommending me tweets that have more likes than even your self-esteem. And Blue Sky, fuck Blue Sky. No. I mean, I still use Blue Sky on a little bit of an occasion when I'm talking to like old friends that I met at the convention or something. But my word, the whole political landscape is like constantly changing. So it's really hard to keep up with everything that is happening in America and in Canada and in Mexico right now. Meanwhile, in Britain, we get censored. We get put in prison for making a meme on the government. So, yeah. You want to talk about free speech? Welcome to Britain, where we have none of that. But, hey. Especially when they pass, like, a law mandating that big tech companies have to give up your private data just so they can monitor your every single move. Nonetheless, you have a VPN. If you have a VPN, good luck trying to track that shit, but especially for big tech companies, so I'm kind of fearful about the data privacy I have when it comes to, like, browsing on the internet and stuff. And that, if I can reconsider not using the internet at all, it's just trying to, like, get us away from that. Just go outside and touch some grass and shit, like that fucking Simpsons episode where Itchy Scratchy gets more tamer than usual, because Marge is like, oh, they're so violent for the kids. Truly a commentary at the time, I think, but anyway. That's neither here or there. I've been mostly collecting games for the most part because I wanted to fill up this huge backlog back here, and as you can tell, it's been rapidly expanding last time I streamed, because when I was like streaming in June, it wasn't that a lot, but then I started seeing like really good deals on Amazon, on Vinted, on eBay, at Sports Direct, and even at CEX actually, because everyone likes to use CEX as a freaking example. When everyone is just selling their own games everywhere, they always compare their prices to CEX, and I'm like, well, unless you live near one, or you have it delivered to your doorstep, good luck trying to get that in the same condition as you bought it. Because most of the time when I like go to CEX, I buy like a shit ton of games because I want to build up my own backlog once again. And most of the games that I tend to 100% complete, I just tend to like sell it away because I don't really value like playing that particular game anymore. For example, Hades. I don't desire going back to that fucking game again unless I have a PS5 version so I can keep it like new and sealed in this box. And that's the thing. Games that I don't really tend to get around to for a long time, I keep it new and sealed. For games that I really want to get to, I open the seal and then I just pop the game in. And my PS5 decides to be a dick and not read my disc. Because let me tell you why. I mean, most of the time when I buy a game from CEX, I stockpile it up, and then I apply some isopropyl, then I apply some car cleaner. Novus Type 2 is actually like car cleaner, which actually is really, really good to like clean your discs with. Then I clean that, I clean the disc, I clean the manual, I get rid of the sticky residue by using the hairdryer and shit. Don't use it on the plastic sleeve, by the way. And then I just have it nice and clean for my backlog, right? So
And just in case the discs don't work, I decided to pop it into my PS5 drive and my Xbox Series X drive, just to make sure they actually work. And most of the time they do. But for my PlayStation 5 recently, right, it decides to start being a dick, because usually it tends to feed the disc by itself through the PS5 disc drive. But I had to manually insert it using a freaking earbud, right? Because sometimes it'll get stuck and it'll whir around. It'll try 5 or 6 times to get it in there. And most of the time when I try to eject the disc from the PlayStation 5 that I currently have, it just wouldn't do that. Nah. I'm trying to find my PS. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking around my gaming collection. Anyway, back to my story. My PlayStation 5 is basically a dick. So when I put the disc in, when I tried to eject it out, it would not fucking do it. Unless you tilt the PS5 like this, and that way it just spits out the disc, just like that. Before that, I had it vertical, right? So vertical, that's already a hard freaking ass because it would never do it vertical. So the reason I had to face the PS5 horizontally now. I had to adjust the stand and put the freaking bolt in there and everything like that, just so I have an easier chance to. I took apart the PS5. And you know what video I used to like tear down the PS5? I used the official teardown video that PlayStation themselves put out there when the PS5 was about ready to launch. And that was like one of those viewed videos on YouTube. And everyone was just praising it for like, oh wow, they're so transparent to their audience. Look how great the PS5 manually is. Like, this is literally just PC building in a nutshell. You know? I remember every single comment's just praising this and memeing it to high hell. But I used that teardown video to take apart my PlayStation 5. Not like all the way. I mostly took like the faceplates apart because those bitches are hard. Because what I gathered is that these case covers have freaking hook handles that you have to slide a specific direction and a specific angle in order to in order to like unslot them, so that way you can see into the disk drive. I was trying to fix the fucking disk drive. I've seen so many YouTube videos about the fucking disk drive, and the only one I think I found out was like, oh, you gotta like get rid of the faceplates. Then you need a specific screwdriver head for this. There's this black slot, right, that the screwdriver can fit into, and that helps you eject the disc from the disk drive because it was stuck, right? And I didn't want to mess with all of the other holes because we dismantled the whole PlayStation 5 thing. I got another problem on my freaking hands. It's like, well, it's like PC building, right? How am I going to put it back together? Well, a PC is actually pretty easy, but with a PlayStation 5, not fucking so, because the manufacturer did them themselves, and I'm not a freaking Sony employee. God knows what I'm going to do. It's like trying to dismantle a fucking Steam Deck. Like, no fucking fags. I'm going to get my hands off of that shit. But anyway, I tried ejecting the disk drive because there was this black hole, right? Not that kind of black hole you're thinking of, but you have to screw the black hole, and that'll help you eject the disk from the disk drive. Doesn't fucking work. Either it's stuck, or it doesn't want to fucking do it, or it's lodged in the whole way that I can't get it out. So again, I reiterate, the only way to get it out is if I tilt the PlayStation 5 like this, at a 90-degree angle or something like that, 45 degrees, let's say, and then the disk manually ejects itself out. That was the only way I could do it. That's why I had the PlayStation 5 horizontal from now on, because when it's vertical, I'm not going to get any luck from that. So, of course, once I kept doing that so many times, the PlayStation 5 is like, oh, right, you actually want to eject the disc? Well, you could have just asked, dickhead. So now just listen to me without any disregard. So now, I mean, me and the PS5, we're cool with each other now. We cool. It's just been a pain in the ass trying to get the disc out in order to test another disc. I wanted to test it to see if there are any patch updates, if there are any DLC, microtransactions, any season passes you have to download. So that way, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put this. What I do is that I put a sticky note on there. I test a game, and then I put a sticky note on the game saying like, oh, it's good. It's not in bad condition. It's not the manual. The disc has scratches, but it works pretty fine. So like that. And then that's that. Call it an OCD quirk, but it helps keep my mind in check. That's what I can say about that. But that's pretty much what I'm doing with the PlayStation 5 nowadays. And the Xbox Series X, it's been a good boy. It's been a really good boy. It doesn't actually spit out the disc. It doesn't want to spit out the disc or anything like that. It doesn't have any problems where you have to dismantle it or anything. The Xbox has been a good boy when it comes to testing games, but not for playing games, because most of the games you find on Xbox, you can wait until you get it on a Switch or the PlayStation 5. So the Xbox is just a glorified paperweight at this point. So I just use it as a testing medium so I can, like, keep the discs and make sure it actually works. Because there are some games, like Wreckfest, for example. I bought a copy of Wreckfest for the Xbox One, and I decided to test it out. It looks clean. Hardly a single scratch on the disc. Would not fucking install it. And I'm like, Why? It looks perfect. It looks absolutely flawless. Absolutely flawless. So I tried it again and again and again and again and again, and it would not fucking install the rest of the disc. And I'm like, what the fuck is this a cursed disc? So I had to return it to CES and explain to them this would not install for the life of me. So I had a refund for that, and I was all fine and dandy. It's just a couple of discs don't work, and even when the disc has thousands upon thousands of scratches, I put it into my CD drive and it dumps it completely flawlessly. And I'm like, well, those scratches, I mean, those discs are like badass. They have like freaking Chad armor or something. And then I tried. Oh, boy, I can't believe I did that. So, everyone says don't sand your disc because that just only gets rid of layer. Because I bought a whole selection of games from Whatnot, and you know what? I thought I'll buy sandpaper because they thought, oh, you can't sand it. You'll never get all the layers off. You're only gonna get more scratches. And I'm like, we'll fucking see about that. And you know what? They're right. I should have heeded their fucking word. Because what I used is 1,000 grit sandpaper. Not a good idea when it comes to sanding discs. Preferably 2,000, because I must have seen so many fucking YouTube videos where they have to recommend you not to do sanding, but if you want to do it anyway, you have to use this specific type of grit. And I'm not sure if those videos are like faked or something because there were mostly cuts in between, and then people had to question, why is there a cut there? Obviously the sander didn't freaking work for the disc. And what sander do they use? They use electronic ones, where it has a literal cylinder object that spins around, yeah, like a disc-shaped object that spins round and round and around with already like liquid applied onto it, so it's easy to sand a disc that way. But I was doing it manually by hand, and I was doing it with a copy of Fallout 4, and I was just only making it worse and worse and worse to the point where I thought, oh shit, I regretted my purchase. Because I decided to buy a freaking bulk purchase of games and whatnot, and the guy says, well, they're faulty. They're never gonna work unless you can try and get them to work. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be up to the challenge. I'll sand these fuckers and I'll make sure they actually work. Much to my dismay, I got them to work less, and the disc became unreadable at this point. So I have a whole stack of games that I bought from Whatnot that don't fucking work anymore. I only sanded one disc though, and I have this fear when I go to the other stack of games, I'm probably not gonna make them work as well, because I got like Mario and Sonic and the Olympic Games, I got freaking Metal Arms glitching the system, I got freaking Mario Galaxy 2 or some shit. I don't fucking know what I bought. I bought so many games, it's hard to keep track. So I bought so many games, I got a stack waiting outside the corridor right now, just completely unused, because I only sanded one thing, and I'm gonna like, I don't know, toss it in a bin or something. It was a waste of a fucking purchase. I thought I wanted to be a badass and be like, yo, I can actually clean games by sanding them, you know what I mean? I thought I was the expert here, but yeah. I'll just stick to cleaning discs with isopropyl and Nova Step 2. I'll stick to doing that, because that's the safest part of cleaning the discs. Cleaning them, not sanding them. Sanding them is when you really want to go hardcore, and you don't know how to do hardcore unless you look up 1,000 YouTube videos, or you know a professional sander in your area, and do it that way, but that'll cost you money. CEX used to do like professional sanding, so it gets rid of the layer on the disc, and it works just fine. They don't do that anymore. Now, I don't know if I explained why. It's just too much money, they said. Too much money. I'm like, alright. Fair enough, you gotta keep your business afloat somehow. you gotta up your prices somehow, right? You gotta make that the money, right? But yeah, I just say don't recommend sanding discs unless you really want to make yourself look like a fool. I had to learn that the hard way, and that's most of the time that I learn from life. I learn it the fucking hard way. That's the only way to learn. The only way to learn. So, apart from that, I've been collecting a lot of video games, just adding up to my backlog with mostly niche games and not just mainstream shit that people tend to go for, like any Call of Duties or Red Dead 2s. Surprisingly, Vinted likes to sell off Doom Eternal at a very low price, and yet on eBay it goes for way higher for some reason. And there's always a PlayStation 4 version, not the Xbox One version. I don't know why. Maybe it's because you need a Microsoft account to access the game. Yeah, on PlayStation, you don't even need an account anyway. You can just sign in as a guest. Boom. You can just be anonymous as much as you want. That's why I like the PlayStation 5. Not like the digital Pro version or some shit, but I'll just stick to the retail version that was released in 2020. The original model, I got a little bit of an update and shit. I did actually buy it for my big brother, and because he had a PS4 at the time, and I thought, hey, here's an upgrade. He didn't really use it that much until his PlayStation 4 Pro broke. So it decided to just like, it decided to just kaput like that. And then he came to my bedroom being like, actually, can I have the PS5 back? So I'm like, calm as a bitch. Even God is like, you're gonna play that PS5 Pro whether you like it or not. And so God smited the console that day. I mean, I ain't religious, but Hey, if I was a Christian, I'd be like, yo, thank you, God. Yo, you're welcome, my dude. I'm not gonna let your purchase go to waste. So yeah, big ups. Big ups to the bearded man in the sky. So yeah, I've been collecting a lot of video games, and it's mostly filing up on the shelves. Mostly games that I'm trying to think of is very niche, and not many people are aware of, but effectively for a lower price anyway. So I got like PlayStation 4 games already lined up full of PlayStation 4 games, because most of the games are compatible with the PlayStation 5 now, and I'm not sure which ones are, but they do have some boosts to them, but except The Last Guardian, because that only plays in 30 frames per second, no matter what freaking console you play it on, which is very, very strange. So I got a lot of these games back here, and especially Elden Ring, because I got that for cheap, and I was waiting for a huge chance of opportunity, well, small opportunity, right, to get this game, and it was the launch edition of Elden Ring. I finally got the freaking game now, and I don't know if I'm gonna get the DLC of it because that was also physical, but it's just Elden Ring, but with the DLC code in it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just wait until the actual remaster of this game comes out or some shit like that. So that way I can actually play the DLC. Never played any Souls-type games except for The Surge. That was the only Souls-type game I've ever fucking played. But hey, that's neither here or there. But it's good to have the fucking launch version. It looks pretty cool. And I got it for cheap too. I can't remember how much I paid for that. I'm going to try to remember now. So if I go to Elden Ring, I paid £28.94. I mean, that's not bad for a game of that caliber, especially the launch edition. For the standard edition, that's usually the same price it goes for. But this is the launch edition, which goes for a little bit higher. But I'm actually glad to get this game as a launch edition. I'm going to keep it sealed until I think, you know what, it's time I play Elden Ring and see what all the fuss was about. Because I know this is a long-ass game to complete. And I know about long-ass games to complete. I played Risk of Rain 2 for 400 hours. So I know what I'm talking about, guys. I am the expert in the completed department. So I got plenty of games up there that I got for cheap, and you'll probably never go for cheap ever again. Again, right next to Elden Ring, Empire of the Ants. And I also went for cheap, but a lot of people on Vinted really wanted that game for some reason. Maybe it was after the show. I don't freaking know. So I'm building out the whole collection, and not sure about the Game Boy versions as well, because I think I'm going to have to work on that one. But most of the time, I collect like a lot of PlayStation 4 games. Like, a lot of them. Probably because, yeah, it's definitely because the PlayStation 5 actually is compatible with most of PlayStation 4 games, which I think is a huge advantage. Now we're just going to wait for the Switch 2 to come out. That'll be backwards compatible with normal Switch games. Let's see what's all that about. Unless the backwards Switch compatibility is all online. It's like, nah, you don't need a physical game card for that one. You had to buy the digital versions instead. LOL. We at Nintendo love to do business with you, but fuck you. That's the joke. There's the catch. There's the catch for you. What about a new Xbox console, huh? Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so I actually bought this one game, and I'm starting to actually get into it recently. And you know what kind of game that is? It's not like a recent game or anything. It's actually Namco Museum DS. I know, very unlikely, right? I was meaning to actually like sell this off because I got it for cheap, and I thought I'll just sell it off. But I'm actually gonna keep it now because it's actually a very addicting compilation of games. Like, I started off playing Pac-Man until I got bored of it, and then I got Galaga, which I eventually got a high score on it, and then I kind of got bored of it. And then you got the original Dig Dug 2, even though it doesn't say Dig Dug 2 in the game, but it says Dig Dug 2 in the back of the box. Then you got Givius, didn't like that one. Tower of Draga, not really a big fan of that one, because the clues are so fucking cryptic. I played a lot of Mappy, though. Mappy's actually a lot of fun, because I actually got like 50,000 high score on that one. Imagine a high score in a video game. Who would have thunk it? Hold on, I'm going to turn my phone off. But I've been starting to play this collection a lot recently, especially Galaxian. Galaxian is actually, because there is actually a trick in order to get like more points. Once you wait for the alien invaders to like rain down on you, you hit them and you get double points. And you wait for the special aliens invaders in the back row, right? You get them, you get like 800 points. So Galaxian is literally just a slower version of Galaga. I think Galaga is like the sequel to Galaxian. I prefer Galaxian over Galaga. Though Galaga has a lot more to it when it comes to gameplay. You can actually like have 2 ships instead of 1 if you play your cards right and whatnot. I'll let you figure that out. But it's a compilation of games I'm actually getting into quite a lot. And it's better than reading a fucking book at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's like, oh, you know what? Actually, wind down and during my sleep time, I'll play a little bit of Mappy. Because I thought, why not? I want to see if I can get 60,000 higher score. You know what? I was actually close to getting it. But there are like tricks. The bonus rounds in Mappy are a pain in the ass. Because the tune is like almost 30 seconds longer. You have to like be perfect and precise every single bonus round just to get that 10,000 bonus points. And if you don't, too bad. It asks so much of you in terms of this bonus round. You gotta like remember where to go and what areas to exploit and how to be fast in certain areas and shit. So these arcade games don't fuck around back then. And I don't think I ever got like an arcade cabinet of any of these games, but I guess it's good to have like a DS copy of it just lying around. And I thought I'll just go out to it. If you want like a quick, if you want like a quick play of some of these games, just go in and pick up the Namco Museum DS for the DS. Sadly, I got the American version because it was, only one I could find online at the time until people started to put up PAL listings. And I'm like, well, great. Now I'm going to get a PAL listing now and get rid of the American version. So that's the other reason why I'm getting rid of the American version. Although I actually think that the American version game cases are slimmer compared to the PAL cases. Exactly. So yeah, I think the American NTSC releases, their game cases are much more slimmer than the PAL ones. The PAL ones are like chunky as fuck, and you can see around here, right? You can definitely tell which ones are chunky and which ones are slim. Like, what's this? American being slimmer than British ones? Unlikely. We're more crooked than anything. So that, I've been playing Namco Museum a lot. I'm just getting it out now. That's mostly the game I'm trying to like speed around and shit. And then what I was trying... Okay, so I want to get back into Knack for a minute there, because I got a little bit pissed off with my controller for this one. So I was playing Knack, and I got to like halfway through the game, and then I realized that this fucking controller up here, it started drifting. I spent a lot of money on this console and the fucking controller, and the left analog stick decided to fucking drift out the wazoo. And that ruined my gameplay so many freaking times, especially in sections in Knack, when you had to fucking stand still and not move into certain sections. But the drift is not really having it, so I got really pissed off because of the drift. And what I tried to do is that I tried to like poke out the left analog stick like that, push it back in, shit like that, and it still doesn't work. The drift actually got a lot worse when I actually moved the analog sticks, but it's just official. Even though it looks totally fine, the drift ruined the PlayStation 5 controller for me. So I got another one. I got another freaking controller now, and it actually works a lot better. It's like 55 quid or so, but even though it's a bit dirty, I'm like, I'm not worried about that. As long as it works, it's fine. But for my first controller, I went down to like Carmarthen because there was like a nearby repair shop that repairs phones, laptops, computers, consoles, and shit like that. I should have done that with the disk drive for my PlayStation 5, but I thought, screw it. But I came to them, and this guy had like 3 dogs in the back of this cashier, and I'm like, oh look, a dog man. That's pretty cool. He's a dog owner. I really want a dog, but at the place that I'm living in, nah, fat chance. Just wait until I get a nice mansion to myself. But anyway, I went to him and I said, can you fix this controller and test it out? Because it's got this awful drift problem. And then he plugged the whole thing in because he had this app where it detects if the analog stick goes wild and if it's sensitivity and whatnot. And he says, well, it doesn't look too bad, actually. And as soon as he touched the left stick, whoa, that dot's going all over the fucking place. And so he came to me with this prognosis. Yeah, I'm not going to fix it. You're better off buying a new controller. So I'm like, really? You really can't fix the drift problem? Nah, it's way beyond me, mate. Just get a new controller. Because you don't want to like... he's literally being transparent. And I gotta praise the guy for that. He's literally just saying, instead of wasting your money on me, buy a new controller. And I'm like, alright. He's literally saying, take your business elsewhere. So I'm like, in a more polite manner. And I'm like, alright, cool, man. At least you're honest about it. So I went down to CEX and bought a new controller. And you can tell because of the sticker. And my sweat stain is actually rubbing off with the stickers. I might actually get it. The thing is, if I get rid of the sticker, I wouldn't be able to tell which controller apart. So if I got a sticker on there, that lets you know I bought this. So yeah, I got a new controller, and it's working a lot better compared to my old controller. So I'm not sure what to do with this controller now, if I want to sell it as like faulty or for parts or has a drift problem and shit, or just toss it in the bin because it's useless now. Because of the drift, it's fucking useless. So I don't know what to do. I might as well toss it away. If I'm gonna sell it to some guy, they'll probably come back at me and say like, this got a drift problem. And I'm like, well, duh, I did say it was a drift problem. It's like, why are you pretending to be shocked or something? So that little bit is out of the way.
And the other bit I want to get into is regarding Twitch, because again, I don't really stream on Twitch a lot. But as soon as I saw an email pop up onto one of my Gmail accounts, alright, I might as well show you anyway. Hold on. I'm gonna be sure about this one. Right. So, I'm trying to find this one freaking thing there because I haven't used Stream Deck for a long time. So, what you're seeing right here on Twitch, I haven't used Twitch for the longest fucking time, and most of my friends that I used to know on Twitch and Discord don't really stream that much on Twitch anymore. Except for like 1 or 2 people. That's really it, really. I guess they just moved on with their lives, got burnt out by making friends, or just like huddled up into their own freaking hug boxes and shit, and decided not to deal with each other anymore. I don't know. Twitch is very fragmented right now from my end. But what you're seeing right now is an over-storage limit for highlights. They're going to get rid of highlights. No, they're not actually going to get rid of highlights. They're going to implement like a 100-hour limit for most of them. It's like a whole cloud server based deal. Because I guess they're trying to reduce storage space on their servers just so they won't have to like pay for new server boxes or some shit like that. I'm not really sure. But that woke me the fuck up. So I have a lot of highlights actually. Mostly just useless ones because I had these ones that mostly chronologed my attempts of trying to complete Doom Eternal on Ultra Nightmare, but most of them are like useless pretty much unless you go to like the end of me just like rage quitting the game because I failed to do this one bit correctly. This one lasted for 6.5 hours. My god. Again, like I said before, you can definitely tell I'm committed to completing every single game 100%, except the multiplayer, which Doom Eternal definitely has. And I'm not doing the multiplayer because nobody plays the multiplayer in Doom Eternal. Like, really. I say just get rid of the Doom... Why do you even actually include multiplayer trophies anyway? I do not understand it. Because what if people don't want to play the multiplayer mode? Just have it as a separate category or something. At least that gives me a reason to get a platinum trophy for the freaking main story, instead of worrying about the multiplayer stuff. Do what Days Gone did, where they have the like extra updates for it, and they have trophies that are categorized to that update. Steam does it all the time. So, I mean, not actual Steam, but Steam Hunters does that all the freaking time when it comes to their updates, and they establish the achievements for each individual update. I really wish they do that instead of like lumping them into like the main category of trophies. I really don't understand that. And that's also the other reason why I always buy single player games, not multiplayer games. Because I know when I play a multiplayer game, I have to pay for a subscription, I have to spend more time grinding my fucking ass off just to get that one trophy. It's easy to play a single player game, and that's what I do. It takes you like 500 hours less normal time than you do in multiplayer. Just telling it out front. I do not like multiplayer trophies. I absolutely do not like them, because it asks for way more of your time, way more of your money, in fact, unless if you're playing on like a console. And I'm a physical guy, not a digital guy. So good luck trying to get me to play a multiplayer game on Steam, which is mostly digital anyway. I haven't used my Steam Deck in the longest fucking time. I just usually have it there, just be like, hey, I got a Steam Deck. Anyway, this shows you that I was very 100% committed to completing this on Ultra Nightmare. And I have all of these freaking VODs dedicated to chronologing my attempts. Because I don't know if you know this about me, but I like seeing my own VODs and seeing what kind of progress that I made throughout the game, learning each level off by heart, the trial and error, the enemy patterns, the level designs, everything. This game literally is built on Ultra Nightmare just to make you test your limits by remembering the stages in and out. And I must have played this game so many freaking times because it's actually a really hardcore game. Animal Crossing, skipping on that. So, again, all of these highlights that I have, I saved them. All on my flash drive. All on my freaking HDD drive. All of these highlights, because I'm not gonna like let those go off the ether. I'm not gonna let freaking Twitch delete them just because they have a freaking hour limit to freaking fulfill. Fuck that. So I saved all of my highlights. I put it on my HDD drive for preservation. Because, not kidding here. This is me in like 2011. Can you believe it? Let's look at the thumbnail real quick. This is me from 2011. Look how skinny I was. My word. Look how naive I was as a teenager. And my first stream, it was a test stream actually, where I was playing Final Fantasy III
on my DS, which I actually still have the game on my in my shelf actually. It's not a bad remake, but I never actually played the original. So the remake at the time was the only way to experience Final Fantasy III in its newest form, and that was pretty much it. So, and I remember I had a friend at the time that I used to talk through Windows Live Messenger. Remember Windows Live Messenger? Oh my god. It's like people trying to use fucking Skype in 2025. Who uses Skype in 2025 now? Crazy, right? We'll be saying the same thing about Discord in 2035. Just give it a couple of years, alright? So, I had these old streams back when I was a teenager where I played freaking Dissidia 012 on my PSP. Look at that. I didn't have a capture card at the time. I didn't know what Elgato was. So I used freaking... Does anyone... Okay, I can't remember. I can't believe I'm actually saying this. Does anyone remember Minicam? That was the that was the virtual webcam I fucking used. It uses your webcam, and I remember in one of my first earlier streams, I used like a camera, and I had one of these called like these weird freaking collared shirts, right? No, not collared shirts. They had like this weird V-neck in the middle where the buttons are there that you shouldn't button up because it's just a fashion thing. So I was wearing these kind of shirts, and you can see that I had a microphone literally embedded and clipped onto my shirt because that's the only way you can hear me, right? Far removed from using an XLR microphone, right? And then a couple of other streams was when I actually used a fucking webcam for like, I actually clipped my webcam onto my shirt. So I would constantly playing like this while having to balance the webcam just so I could record some fucking gameplay. Because the other stream I did, nobody could see the gameplay. One person can't see the gameplay, but hey, I was streaming to nobody anyway. I mean, isn't that different, I guess? So I was streaming a lot of handheld games, like 40 Winks and stuff like that, but that was like a long ass time ago. I used to have like a Twitch page or a Twitch channel where I used to like stream a lot of handheld games and nobody could see them. But yeah, I guess I thought that was successful. But I did a lot of that. Then I watched a show called Phone Shop, which was like it was part of like the Channel 4 programming block where they introduced like new comedies to their own lineup. At the time, when I was actually looking at that, hold on, let me try and fucking get that in the frame actually. Yeah, so I was looking at this at the time, and at the time, I did not fucking like the show. It was like, I didn't like the humor, I didn't like the story it was telling. It was, I hated it. As a teenager, as an early grown adult who is like, oh, I'm so mature, I go to college, I live with my roommates, and I have no time for this trite with just lewd and sex and shit like that. But here's the thing, I actually rewatched this show because I'm like, why the fuck do I hate it so much? Why did I think it was written by Ricky Gervais when it's clear that the writer is obviously not Ricky Gervais? It just feels like it was written by Ricky Gervais. So I hated the show when it first came out, and I do not understand why. Because I rewatched the show again, the first season, because I was watching the second season without knowing the context of the first season. Because there are characters that have been established, the world has been established, this whole gangster environment around phone shops has been pretty established in the first season. And I remember I watched the first season just so I could catch up with it. And I think it's really funny. It's a really funny show. I mean, it does build up a little bit here and there. It does have some sore bits, and it takes a little bit of a while. Some bits are a bit awkward. But apart from that, even though I despise the show, I do remember a couple of sayings. And the freaking chav slang that exists in the show, I could not resist fucking repeating, because it's like, there's these two guys, right? Like, in the beginning. There's like a black guy and there's a white guy. And I think they have names, but I'm gonna refer to them as black guy and white guy. They have like a bro relationship, right? Not like literal bro, but they're pretty like close in tight-knit phone shop culture. Because they used to have like an ex-worker who was like really big into selling phones. He was kind of a dick about it, but those are that's the kind of person that we want to uphold to, like trying to sell phones. And I think it was based in Camden or something. I can't remember what the phone shop. It's literally called Phone Shop. That's the name of the show, right? The first episodes were fine, but then I thought it was just gonna be like a kind of style, like South Park kind of thing, where it's like, oh, they're gonna try and sell phones. How are they gonna sell phones? Or maybe they'll try and sell the phones this way. Maybe they'll try and sell the phones this way. I thought that was gonna be like the stale style of what the phone shop would do, where it's, how do we sell phones today, gentlemen? For 11 minutes. But
it pretty much like expands it from there. But there's another phone shop that they're in contest with, and everyone in Camden, I think it's based in Camden or maybe in Edinburgh or something. I can't remember. But there are other phone shops up there who are like, yo, you stealing our business away? We're gonna rap on your shit. So there are like other phone shops, and they try to imitate it in the style of gangster culture because again, British has a gangster culture like America does. So take phone shops for example, and show and express them in a way in the style of gangster culture. And that's really funny because they take something as simple as selling phones and pay-as-you-go SIM cards to the fucking extreme, where it's like, oh, you're trying to sell this phone without my consent? I'll shoot you in the face, like a kill shot, right? And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of extreme, but that's what makes this show so fucking funny, actually. So, I think there was this character who has, like, Tourette's or something like that. And, she's a well-established character. She's a bit of a pushover, but then these guys are like, yo, you gotta be manly and shit. And so, again, they were established earlier on, and then there's this one guy who recently got into the whole workplace and shit. There's this guy who thinks he's like, everyone says he's an old boomer, but he's like, I'm not an old boomer, you are! So he tries to make himself look like young and hip for the lads and stuff, and that was like one of the episodes. And so, again, it expands from like just trying to sell phones. They go into like parties, and they get involved with like drug gangs and rings and shit like that. They get involved in like interrogations. It's pretty much like The Getaway, but phones. If you ever like played The Getaway from the PlayStation 2, it's literally just The Getaway, but with phones, pretty much. And I remember watching a couple of episodes, and I thought it was actually really funny. I didn't know why I was like freaking mad at the time. I really did not get my sense of humor back then, but I guess I was trying to be different and shit. But again, that's my little tangent about Phone Shop. It's actually not a bad series, and not many people tend to know it existed nowadays. I probably might have to get back into the show again because I didn't realize this. The show has 3 seasons. It went on for that long for 3 seasons. I'm gonna have to watch the whole thing. And of course, even though I didn't like the show back then, my favorite saying was when one of the guys says, expect the unexpected, and I'm like, when I heard that, I say it all the time, actually, and I'm, well, in certain situations, and I'm like, what the fuck was that saying from? Oh, fuck, it was from Phone Shop. So, like with the Emoji Movie, even though I didn't like the movie, I communicate through emojis, and I'm like, well, the movie's got me there. Like, red herring shit. But yeah, like I said, Phone Shop is like a British show. I don't think you can watch it on YouTube, the whole series, for free. So type in Phone Shop, just watch it, and you'll be glad to like have your funny bones tickle for an hour. But there are like other highlights there as well, like me playing Garry's Mod, me trying to do like morning streams, like a Hat in Time and shit, but that failed miraculously. And then I tried doing just normal streams where I just chat to myself before I go to work because I was wearing a black shirt. And I played Full Metal Furies, VR chat. I played fucking VR chat? Nobody in their right mind like me would play VR chat, right? I guess I need to play it again, I guess. Because I think it's just built for people who have virtual reality headsets, which I don't have. So I'm just like a baseless avatar, just walking around, just trying to engage with strangers. Like, oh, I was a crazy dude. Then I played Celeste, watched the Nintendo Showcase, and then I finally played Genshin Impact for the first time. Yeah, there are actually old highlights of me playing Genshin Impact for the first time, just wandering around Leeway for like 3 hours or so. And it was the first gacha game that I ever fucking played, and I knew about gacha culture until it fumbled itself in the ass. And yeah, like I said, I'm not going to keep those highlights buried or anything, because I think, and no matter what other people say, I always treasure the past me, because it's the past me that made way into the person that I became right now, really. So looking back at them, and I like to cringe at my old shit, just so I can laugh back at it and think, what the fuck was I thinking? What the fuck was I saying? It's always fun. I know people tend to be very neglectful of their own past selves, where it's like, oh, I can't believe I used to behave like that. I think, for me, I use it as a learning curve, so I can look back at myself and fucking laugh. Because the best joke you can tell is yourself. The best joke I can tell is myself. So, I don't know. I guess I just have nuance and leniency, where I can just laugh at myself, because I laugh at myself all the freaking time. As long as I have, like, some self-awareness that I knew what I did before then was fucked up. I actually said like the N-word when I was like a teenager. I used to do like dubs back in the day, and I said the N-word back then, and I'm like, I didn't know what I was about. What was this site called? It was called Gizoogle. Hey, Gizoogle actually exists. I used this website back then. It's pretty much like a website that translates your normal English language to like slang language, pretty much.
for yo boiches who want to find shiznit and stuff like that. So I used that back then. I'm like, oh wow, that's where I learned that from. That's crazy. Anyway, that was the old me. I don't think I'd do that right now, but I was a curious teenager. I was new to the internet. I had a Wi-Fi connection. I wanted to exploit the shit out of that. It was like a little USB dongle that had a Wi-Fi antenna on it, and I think you had certain kind of bandwidth, but bandwidth back in Wales, it's not exactly the best, unless you live in like a home that has really good fiber internet, and that's all good. But anyway, my point is, the Twitch highlights, they had this limit on there, and I decided to spend an entire day downloading every single highlight I have on my Twitch in case they go away. Which I know they will eventually, so it's good to archive most of my stuff, so that way it will never be lost to the ends of time. So that way people can take them and laugh at them when I get hacked. So that's one thing. I want to tell you about this other thing, because this fascinates me. I actually discovered this the other day because I was watching a YouTube video of someone saying, actually, physical is not the way to go because of disk rot. And I'm like, of course you bring disk rot. It's because you don't look after your disks. And then he brought up this one case with Ed and Eddie. And I realized he was using different masters versions of the episode of the day the Ed stood still or something like that. It's where Ed got a pebble in this freaking shoe. That was a really iconic episode. That was one of the iconic episodes on Ed and Eddie, and I probably go back to watch it, especially on TV. But apart from being, it was like one of the longest running Cartoon Network series back then, until like, I guess Adventure Time kind of beat him to the punch, or a regular show and shit like that. So, again, that was just my generation anyway. So I found this Reddit thread from someone who doesn't use Reddit of the definitive edition of Ed and Eddie. Completely fan-made, by the way. And it's basically a couple of people taking the massive versions from like Amazon, HBO Max, and DVD copies of the series, all 6 seasons and 4 specials, I think, and a movie. 6 seasons of the movie. But anyway, so they state here is that they trained AI on certain models of these characters, right? And instead of just like what companies do is like, oh, just doing AI upscaling and just call it a day, right? No. What they did is that they actually recreated the models. They re-stamped the entire backgrounds and stuff. They replaced frames that are like missing and shit to make it look like it's actually from that time. As you can tell by these screenshots, right? You can tell that the background is very fuzzy and shit like that. I mean, I would have just manually painted over them just so they can get rid of all the fuzz and shit. I think the background is not really what matters here. These screenshots show that they actually would upped up the bitrate to like 4K to 2160p. And those are the versions that they put in this Reddit thread. And it looks really, really good when you look at it from like a distance. But when I actually viewed it on full screen, you tend to notice like very small details. When there are small models in the background, it's very noticeable that they are AI upscale because some of their mouths are missing, some of the lines are missing, and it's very, very fucking noticeable. So these versions aren't exactly the best because back then it was like 1999, they used like cel shaded animation. So it was really hard to try to get all the detail back, especially when they're missing at the time. So it was really hard. I understand that. You gotta work with the technology that you got. But going up to Season 3 or Season 5, Season 6 beyond, it looks a lot better. But again, the background, it still needs some work a little bit. But hey, I do appreciate this version because you can actually watch these versions for free, by the way. You can just download the mega upload file and you're like, oh yeah, you can just download each episode that's like 7 gigabytes long. Large. Yeah, that's how large these freaking episodes are. They're only freaking 11 minutes. But it's because of the whole detail they decided to AI upscale here, as well as brush up a couple of other bits, especially with the special, because the movie, I actually watched the movie. It looks so freaking good in 4K. It looks so good because I must have watched like the Ed picture show so many times that I do notice little details that are missing and certain frames that are actually optimized just so they can suit the 30 frames per second standard and shit. I do notice that kind of restoration efforts. They do go out all the fucking way, but there are some points where I'm like, oh, that's kind of missing a little bit there. But I'm not going to show you the whole freaking series, but this blew my mind, and I decided to download a couple of episodes just in case I want to rewatch Ed and Eddie again, because it's a really good show. I know there's this one guy called Fat Strider who is like, I didn't like Ed and Eddie because everyone is such a dick. I'm like, did you watch the Big Picture show? They redeemed their whole character arcs after 6 seasons. And I don't think the whole point was like the character. It's not like character based. It's mostly just to tell jokes and be slapstick funny. That's pretty much what the whole show is. It's just pretty much slapstick humor, and especially with Ed, because it's just all about imagination and all about just pretty much slapstick.
I mean, I like me a bit of slapstick because I grew up with Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes and stuff. So this kind of show kind of hits it home for me. So yeah, there's that. So I say, go onto this Reddit thread, find the definitive edition for yourself, and they have like 6 seasons of folders, and the specials are in there as well, and they cleaned it all up. They got like the best copies they had, and then they just brushed it up with a lot of more detail. And it kind of reminds me of this one thing where, I remember this show called Whatever Happened to Robot Jones, and I remember when HBO Max decided to just purge their entire animation catalog, right? There was this one guy who was like, here are the folders to the Google Drive of all of the shows that are getting destroyed, right? And there was Robot Jones. And sadly, I don't have the link to that folder anymore. And I wish I fucking did. Because I actually remembered Robot Jones and I used to watch that show a lot. Because it's such a weird show. It looks like it was drawn through pencil scratches. And that's literally it. Someone just had like a bunch of pencils and is like, yeah, I'll make a cartoon out of this. Just on paper and freaking crude drawings like some school kid drew it or something like that. Well, like that one scene from Dexter's Lab, but that's another episode entirely. So I remember watching Robot Jones. I thought it was really good. Now that I watch it, I'm like, why did I think it was good? It's just a standard high school show, but it's a robot. Yay, get excited, guys. I guess I kind of got into it because it feels like a show that was made in the 2000s, and it gives you off that energy that it was made in the 2000s. Like, man, the music kind of hits home the 2000s. The aesthetic of the animation is 2000s. The lingo is the 2000s. Cartoon Network was really edgy at that time. Quite edgy. Doesn't get adult though. Doesn't get adult until like later on. But that's another thing. So I remember watching Robot Jones back then. But again, the show that I rewatched for Cartoon Network, and I wish they bring it back. But I don't want to bring it back. I do not want them to bring Ed, Edd and Eddy back. They already did the Powerpuff Girls fucking dirty, and Teen Titans. If they brought back Ed, Edd and Eddy, they're probably gonna dump it with memes and smartphones and stupid woke shit and Reddit humor. It's not gonna be the same Ed, Edd and Eddy we grew up with in the past. Just no. Even if they're grown up, I do not want the show to go back because there is actually a show out there that is literally Ed, Edd and Eddy grown up. And I think it's called Peach Creek. This is actually a really good fan-made show. It takes the concept of Ed's grown up, and it actually does it really fucking well, and it doesn't, like, pander you to the point where it's like, oh, yo, we're hip and grown up now. Look at this split, go mathematical. But no, these Eds are grown up, and they go through this crisis that the things that they used to do back when they were kids are not as fun anymore. So they have these scenes where it's like, they think about their life responsibilities, and things that happen around them, and it's more grounded in reality. Like, it isn't the same Peach Creek as they grew up with before. Like, things are different now. So I really like the show. It's a shame there's only, like, 1 episode of it now. I really wish there were more episodes on this, because this is actually a really good fan-made show. And as an Ed, Edd and Eddy fan, I really love this show. Especially the first episode, because I will keep rewatching certain scenes of it, because Ed is not stupid anymore. He's actually a bit grown up now. I think he has a girlfriend in this one. But yeah, it's actually a more grounded version of Ed, Edd and Eddy when they're grown up now. That's actually pretty cool. And I suggest you all go watch the first episode. I really wish there were more episodes built onto this, because I'm really proud that this has got 1.4 million views. And I guess those 1.4 million views are Ed, Edd and Eddy fans. And I'm like, yo, my people, man. My people. So yeah, I recommend you to please watch the Peach Creek fan-made episodes. They're really good. This is how you do, like, all grown up right. If Cartoon Network did this kind of shit, they would not they would not succeed. I'm telling you, they would not succeed. The fans had the better idea of what Ed, Edd and Eddy grown up would be like. Because they understand the show, they grew up with the show, and I've grown up with the show. I mean, come on. It's right there in black and white. Hire the people who know the shows inside and out instead of hiring people who are just based off of check marks and shit. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So yeah, I'm just going on freaking rants right now. I'm just like letting all my steam out. So anyway, I'm gonna go back to this one because I want to show you a stack of games right now that I actually bought at CEX, and I want to tell you a little bit of story about them. Oh, there's so many games. These are the stack of games that I got. At the top, there's Metal Gear Solid for the Game Boy, but these are the stack of games that I got. One of interest for me is Blazing Dragon, with the voice of Terry Jones. It's literally like what Crystal Dynamics made, a Monty Python show with dragons in it, and that's pretty much it. So those are the stack of games that I bought. Blazing Dragon is quite interesting. I don't have the Saturn to play it on, unfortunately, so I looked up a long playthrough on YouTube, and Blazing Dragon is pretty much, I didn't even know this, but there's a show called Blazing Dragons, and it's
kind of like a cult classic on the internet, I suppose. It's pretty much like Monty Python, but with animated dragons and shit. It's literally just taking this fantasy genre and just Monty Python-esque in it. So Crystal Dynamics thought, hey, let's make a video game based on the show. And it has a voice of Terry Jones, who I think was in Monty Python and shit. It feels like, what I didn't notice is that the voice of Terry Jones is actually in Earthworm Jim as well. And I'm like, what the fuck? That was a narrator guy in Earthworm Jim? That was the Monty Python guy? Holy shit. So, recognize this name, and looking for the entire playthrough. It's pretty much just Monty Python. And it's kind of funny, but it goes a bit meta towards the end. But I would encourage you to try the game for yourself, or at least look up a walkthrough, or look up a playthrough on YouTube. Because I do find it kind of funny, and I put it in the background when I was trying to do some other stuff on the side. But looking for the whole Blazing Dragon video game, it takes like 3 hours to complete, if you know what you're doing. But it'll probably take a lot longer than that, because the person in the description says, oh, it's kind of easy. The puzzles are all easy to like solve. And I'm like, well, not for me it isn't, because I haven't played the fucking game. I played like Broken Sword. That was another point-and-click adventure game that I played. And I had humor as well, in some aspects. But Blazing Dragon was one of the games that I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. I mean, it doesn't take itself too seriously. So that was one of the things that I like about that one. But anyway, that's just one game. So these stacks of games that I bought over there, I bought it at CEX for 200 quid. I collected it. I showed my ID and everything, and they knew that I bought it. And I brought it all the way back here to clean and just prep up and put it in my backlog, right? Then I looked into my bank account the other day. I paid 200 quid for this stack of games, right? And then I get an email from them, and I'll explain to you what this email is. I'm gonna try and find the email right now, because I wanted to hear it for myself. So this is the email that I got. I'm trying to remember now. No, it's not that one. Okay, so this is this one. Hi, we're sorry we didn't get to see you on this occasion. We have now sent you a refund for the items you have ordered from us. So, I did have items that I did purchase. Hold on. Oh, for fuck's sake. I did have items, but no, the phone's not working. But basically, right, I had items that I bought from CEX for 200 quid, and they literally just refunded me the whole amount. So not only do I get to keep my own money, I get to keep those stacks of games for free. Yay! What a great gamer I am. I feel so proud of myself, actually. Only one time, though. I don't know if any of the other times will freaking count, but that was a one lucky son of a time to keep all of those games for free. And I'm like, I saved myself 200 quid because of a system error that CEX has or something like that. And I'm just going to wait and see what happens when I go there next time. And I'm like, I'm not going to bring it up, but I don't know. It just feels pretty natural, I suppose. So I praise him for that. I totally praise him for that. Anyway, those second games are done with. But there's actually a really good collection of games, because I mostly got like PS2 games that I just tested out and dumped and shit like that. And it looks pretty good, actually. I'm going to turn it around. So I can look at the spines. Because the spines are the interesting part of the whole stack anyway, because I can actually see what games there are. So I got like Castle Wolfenstein, and then No One Lives Forever, which I actually played on the PC long time ago. That's what got me into the series to begin with. It's crazy how 11-year-old me played a James Bond spoof as a female. Crazy, right? And I thought that was actually a good game. But yeah, I got this stack of games for free, and I feel really proud about that. I mean, it was to my favor. I didn't even know that was going to be happening. I suppose CEX gave me a blessing in disguise for that one. But anyway, I'll go into this a little bit for a second, because I want to talk to you about what games I 100%ed while I was gone. And I didn't make a live stream on, because I want to make a live stream so that way I can actually just say, hey, I beat the game, yay! I can prove it to myself, and only myself. So, I want to get this up right now, because I want to show you what kind of games I have completed. So let me get a little bit of background for you guys. So, what you're seeing right now is a whole game of completed games that I have in my backlog. So, I've done Risk of Rain 2. That was one of them. Let me go to the version. Okay, so I've done Risk of Rain 2. I already done a live stream on that and how I freaking hate completing this game 100%. And I've done it, and I don't have to do it ever again. Then I moved on to another roguelite. After I completed another roguelite. Because I fucking hate myself so much to do this. So with this one, thankfully enough, it's not a very long game to complete. It took me like, what? 50 hours plus? So it's not really a bad roguelike game to complete. Roguelike is literally meant literally in this game. Because it didn't take you that long to complete. It's because of the updates that they have here, right? So this was my achievement list of 59 hours of playtime. It didn't even take me that long to complete this freaking game. And it's like, yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, some of the achievements are a bit cryptic because there was one achievement down here where you have to play as what was this? Oh, you had to play as the trader class, and you had to fight against the trader. And he says, "Hey, you're not me. You're not me. I'm me." And then you get this achievement, the catagelasticism. These achievement names are actually kind of funny, but not as funny as the other achievement names, and I'll get to in a minute from Ping Redo, because that has like Reddit-style humor trophies, where it's like, oh wow, you really, all your bases all belong to you. Like, god damn it, these fucking trophies. But that's, I think, for one game that has a bugged stage in there that you can't really get a 3-star on, but I'm going to get to that in a minute. So I got all of the achievements in Rogue Legacy, because it's not really a bad game to complete, and I actually got addicted to this game on the PlayStation Vita back in college. It was a really fun, addictive game, and a bit of trial and error here and there, but I got better at the game as soon as the more I played through it, and especially to the point where I actually beat one of the clown games flawlessly, because usually they're hard to complete when you're like new to this game, but now I can do it like a boss. That's what trial and error does to a person like me. And I did all the skill tree stuff, I did every single collectible, I did all of the runes and stuff like that, and then look at this playtime. It's 332 hours long. You must have think, wow, you already completed the game. Why the hell do you stick through it for 332 hours or so? Well, I'll tell you why. There is a mod for this game called The Lament of Zors. And what this mod literally is, it's just a big, giant overhaul and update to the original Rogue Legacy game, I guess, just to keep it standing on its 2 legs. And it was a mod made by, like, one guy. It had his own website and everything like that. And I think it's got its own mod DB page. But, you have to install it, like, separately if you want to play it on Steam. But when you load it up on Steam, it gives you the option to play either Rogue Legacy or the Lament of Zors mod. And I'm like, that's strange. I bet that was, like, there as a glitch or something like that. So I kept playing the original Legacy. The king has returned. I like your broken English there, Offspring. How are you doing, my dude? Anyway, I was going to explain how I spent 332 hours on Rogue Legacy. In particular, this mod that I'm going to show you right now. So, like, what this mod is, right? It's pretty much an extended version of the Rogue Legacy game. Because it adds 4 new bosses into the game, 4 new boss remixes, 3 new areas, and I do stress this, 3 new areas that are way more expansive. I mean, they literally expanded the entire game to the point where it literally becomes triple the size of the original dungeons. Like the fourth stage, the 4th dungeons in Rogue Legacy, it can like fill up a giant fucking room. That's how big we're talking here. I must have recorded like playthroughs where on the 4th stage you can get to like it goes to like 200 rooms. You go through 200 rooms of the 4th stage, and it's literally a giant Metroidvania. They took the Metroidvania of it, which was already small in the original game, and they expanded it to like 1,000,000 times. That's how insane this fucking mod is. Not to mention, it retweaked a couple of classes to give them more benefits and stuff. Like when you're the miner, for example, you get more gold. When you are the assassin, you deal more damage. And when you're the barbarian, you're like a tank. You got like mid stats and shit like that. So it pretty much is a mod that beats all mods. It's a really good mod. It expands so much on the gameplay and the updates and new content, new music. That's pretty much just Kevin MacLeod from like Incompetech.com, because they can't be bothered to make their own new music. So of course they got new boss remixes because they're not their own remixes. What made you want to 100% this game? I don't know, sheer gratification. Self-gratification, because I guess I just have this void that needs to be filled in my tummy. Where I'm like, if there's an option in the game that gives you more chances to complete it, I'm like, I'm gonna fucking go for that. If this mod can be beat, I'm gonna fucking beat it. So that's the reason why this game is 332 hours long. It's made by this one guy. It was done for QA testing, and keep this in mind, Offspring. The QA testing is done by Zors. Now, minor spoilers if you want to play this mod for yourself, but I recommend don't 100% complete this mod. You will go fucking insane when you do it, because most of my time with the mod is grinding my fucking ass off just so I can deal more damage than the new boss remixes in the game. Because they deal so much fucking damage. You have to be in a particular class in order to deal so much damage to the boss. And it's absolutely ridiculous. And not to mention, their moves, the new boss remixes moves, do more damage, are way faster, and you die a lot more times. And luckily, you don't go back to the beginning of the stage for that. But you have to retry it over and over and over again. And I grinded so many freaking times just so I could get more powerful. Because when it comes to grinding in this game and upgrading your armor, there is no limits. You can grind as much as you want. You can level up as much as you like. You can level up to like 999. Actually, I leveled up to 99999. But did you know there is also 99999999999? There are that many levels in the fucking mod. It is absolutely infinite. And I'm not going to go for that whole grind just to see when the level caps out. I am not doing that. This is an insane fucking mod. Please do not 100% this. I am begging you. Anyway, so the final boss of this game is called Zors. And you want to know how I know there is a final boss? Because the first boss is it's a graveyard ghost of yourself, right? Not too hard. The second new remix boss is literally called Asian Man. Literally called Asian Man. That's literally the name of the boss. And that boss was harder to defeat because you had to go through up an infinite ascent that increases level by level just to get to that guy. And I don't know if that ascent actually ends or anything, but it's just infinite. And every time I try to get up close to the top, I always die. And the levels are capped out so much that I can't do much damage to them. So I'm like, fuck that. So the second boss is literally called Asian Man. And the third boss is literally the final boss of the game, but it's way faster, does more damage, and takes more freaking sponge hits from you. Unless you're like, again, unless you're like an assassin or a ninja or some shit like that, you're not gonna have a fucking chance. Because these bosses are absolutely insane. And once you beat all of the new remix bosses, the credits roll. And then you get like upgraded stuff like you get like I'm trying to remember now. You get like more health, you get like more armor, you get more exploration areas and shit like that. There are like upgrades you can get that actually benefits you in terms of damage and shit like that. And you deal more undead damage to undead enemies and shit like that. But anyway, all of those bosses are done. After the credits, I thought the game was done. I thought the game was done, right? I seriously thought the game was done after the end credits roll. So I gave up. I went out back to do my day, and I thought, you know what? I'll go ahead and play the game again. There's a post-credit boss. There is a post-credit boss in this game. I am not fucking kidding. After the main credits roll, you are greeted with this fucking lovely gem. This is the boss. The last boss you have to defeat in order to complete the game fully. And the name of the boss is called Zors the Exiled. Which, funny enough, is the QA tester of this game. And this boss is fucking painful to beat. It took me so many fucking tries. You see what level I am right now? 12,888. That is how many levels I've been grinding for 322 hours, by the way. My God. This took me longer to complete than Risk of Rain 2. I swear to God. It took me like at least 3 months. 3 fucking months to beat this mod. It was absolutely insane. But anyway, I am going to... It's not enough. But I've actually done it. I'll tell you when I completed this game. And you'll find it hilarious, actually. But, so weird. Yeah, how did the stream interrupt itself? What the fuck? Yeah, how did the stream interrupt itself? What the fuck? Have I been ranting on for so fucking long that I didn't know I was not streaming? It interrupted the stream like midway. Well, it's a good thing I got it archived on my freaking recording. It's a good thing I got it archived, but I don't know why I stopped streaming. Maybe I just randomly clicked on the button that I didn't know I fucking clicked on it. But my god. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Anyway. Just let you know, I'm almost completing. I'm almost gonna complete this fucking game. I'll get back to it. Sorry about that. I don't know why it stopped streaming like literally after I've done the whole Rogue Legacy explanation and shit. Like my god. I'll try and see if I can upload the VOD or something like that. But it's probably not gonna be matter now because it's just interrupted for some reason. I don't know why it was interrupted. Anyway, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to defeat these freaking bosses as Diamond Knack, which I'm not doing a very good job. There we are. Much better. Because I've done it as other variations of Knack, I'm going to do it for this particular version of Knack. Okay, that's going to go there, and boom. So, sorted. Actually, I want to get captured again. There we go. There we go. That's one boss out of the way. And now I see we're going to move on to another boss, which is the Katrina boss. There we go. Again, it doesn't really take that long, honestly. Was my stream actually interrupted, or did I randomly click the stop streaming button that I didn't even know I clicked on it? Like, oh my god. What is wrong with me? Ah! Anyway, I'll try and see if I can upload the VOD or something like that. That'd be crazy. Boom! That's what I call timing. So, I'm not sure if it counts to, like, doing checkpoints of bosses, or just literally doing the whole game as Diamond Knack. Like, I'm not really sure. I really hope it's not. Because I do not want to suffer that much today. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. Won't take me that long. There we are. Much better. There we are. Ah, we both hit each other. Crazy. Ah, damn it. I thought I had it on the ropes. See, he does so much damage. Especially on easy mode. Right, let's go. See, he has a little bit of a delay sometimes. I think it's only because I do it a certain amount of times. I wouldn't need to get the sunstones. It doesn't really matter anyway. See, she's just backing away like a pussy. Wait, I hit that? Bullshit. How did I hit that? Okay. Wait, she glitched out her animation. That's so strange. Right, let's try again. There we are. Easy as that. Boom. Now for the last boss. Joy. And then I'm done with this game. I mean, I hope I'm done with this game, unless the game is like, no, actually, you have to complete the whole fucking game like Diamond in Diamond Knack form. Right, let's keep going. Oh, so I'm not Diamond Knack when I'm big. For some strange reason. Yeah, sure. I'll buy that. Let's keep going. Alright, let's go that. And do this. Boom. And do that. There we go. Oh, it doesn't matter if I don't dodge or anything like that. I'm getting close. Getting close anyway. I don't know why I'm not Diamond Knack in this form. It's so strange. No. This is cutscene Knack. He had to be in this form. Just so the model can work. Yeah, this bit's a bit frustrating to actually go through prolonging it and shit, you know? There we are. Sorted. Go over here. Go here. Avoid the fire, which... Actually, there was like a... I think before I show you this, there was actually like a bug that I forgot to show you, because this game is totally perfect in every single way. There's a bug in this game that I actually found, and it was fucking hilarious. It's when I actually defeated the final guardian, and I got killed during the first boss fight of it, right? And then when I went back after trying to defeat the game again, it's like, the boss should spawn here. Where's the boss? I despawned the entire boss fight. And now I can't progress anywhere. So you have to manually quit the game and then go back into it just so you can have a chance to defeat this boss again. Which is absolutely ridiculous. And now I got killed because of it. Great hits I'm taking, guys. Great hit I'm taking. Anyway. Let's keep carrying on. Let's see if I can get through this bit unharmed anyway. Right, let's carry on. Let's carry on. Again, it shouldn't take that long. Come here, buddy. There we are. I can just like go diagonally forward. It shouldn't be too much of a hassle. There we go, not a huge bother. There we are, Mini Guardian's dead. And it should take 3 hits. Like that. And that should be over. There we are. I got Platinum Trophy. Woo! Wait for it. There we go. Ultimate Knack. I am indeed the ultimate Knack. For I have completed Knack on the PlayStation 4. Let's go. That's another game I can put off my freaking backlog now. Woo! That was a pain in the ass, that was. But at least it wasn't as long to play for anyway. I feel proud of that, actually. All right, I'm going to close the game now. That's the game. That's done. Congratulations, guys. You witnessed me actually playing this freaking game.